Guys, if you like Dragon Ball Hakai, today is the best day for you to subscribe to our Patreon. We started publishing about 3 pages a day of the next chapter of Dragon Ball Hakai. In addition, you will also have access to several other stories created by our team, including Dragon Ball Shinken. By collaborating with our Patreon, you help us keep Dragon Ball Hakai alive and have a lot of benefits. Become a member of our community too. The link is in the video description and in the pinned comment. I'm waiting for you there.
Previously on Dragon Ball Hakai, after picking up Broly from Vampa and taking him to Beerus' planet, Vegeta is about to begin extremely tough training with the legendary Super Saiyan. A voracious fight between the two is about to begin. Concomitantly with this, Goku, also in search of his strengthening, went to the planet of destruction of Universe 12 to talk to the god of destruction Jin. The reason? Nobody knows yet. What will Vegeta and Broly's training be like? What does Goku want to talk about with Gin? Find out now.
Hakai.
Guys, what you're about to see now is the newest chapter of Dragon Ball Hakai, made with great dedication for you. But before I tell you the entire chapter, I just want to ask you to help the reach of this video by leaving a like and a comment. Leave a like now if you are a fan of Dragon Ball Hakai, and like when we bring videos from this series here on the channel so we know that you approve of this type of video. And comment hashtag Dragon Ball Hakai or hashtag Goku God of Destruction if you want to see the next chapter of Dragon Ball Hakai published faster. If this video reaches the goal of 1,500 likes and 200 comments, we will produce the next chapter and bring it here to you urgently. Subscribe to the channel to receive all our videos about Dragon Ball Hakai and Dragon Ball in general, and share this video with a friend of yours who is a fan of the franchise. Anyway, now let's get to the story! Chapter 34, Son Goku's Challenge. In Universe 7, Whis takes Vegeta, Broly and the others to a dimension inside his staff, so that the two can fight without causing damage to Beerus' planet. Broly and Vegeta stare at each other, their expressions indicating that things are going to get serious from now on, and that they are truly willing to give it their all. Showing great control over this transformation and his divine ki, Vegeta transforms into Super Saiyan Blue without making any fuss. Already knowing Broly's extraordinary potential thanks to their confrontation on Earth, he says he will start fighting in Super Saiyan Blue, as it makes no sense to use any level lower than that against Broly. He also tells Broly that he already realized that he trained to control his powers during that period when they didn't see each other, and then asks the legendary Saiyan to use everything he learned during that time. Broly nods. He does his power concentration stance and begins to contract his muscles. Broly's eyes change color, and then his pupils disappear as he displays a great release of power that can be seen even outside of Whis' staff in the form of a sparkling glow. As Broly reveals his energy in the form of a dense ki aura, Vegeta looks on in awe. He sees around the other Saiyan the figure of an Uzaru roaring wildly, representing the most primitive form of the warrior race's power. With this release of Broly's power that shakes the environment, Limo shows great fear, remembering what happened on Earth and saying that he feels that chaos will repeat itself there. The manifestation of Broly's energy continues, kicking up dust and spreading a strong wind in all directions as his ki is elevated. Unlike Lemo, Chialai appears to be more concerned with Broly himself than with the chaos he can cause. She says she hopes this brute doesn't hurt him, referring to Vegeta, whose uncompromising personality she already knows. Right behind them are Whis and Beerus. Beerus, for some reason, when focusing his gaze on Chialai for a moment, is struck by a bad mood and a feeling of disapproval, complaining about some supposed plan of Vegeta's. After releasing so much power, Broly seems to have finally regulated his ki and shows his combat stance, indicating that he is ready. Vegeta also prepares, excitedly commenting that the other Saiyan has gained control over the Ozaru's power, but at an incredible speed that surprises Broly, Vegeta advances directly against him to deliver a strong and accurate punch to the larger Saiyan's stomach, who receives the attack with pain, while the smaller Saiyan warns that this alone is far from being enough. Vegeta throws another punch, sending Broly flying. Broly responds quickly, despite the hard blows received, accumulating energy in his hands in the form of spheres and throwing everything at Vegeta, who prepares to defend himself and sees this sequence of shots arrive without much concern, showing that it is nothing for him. With skillful movements worthy of an experienced warrior, the Prince of Saiyans deflects all these shots with ease, frustrating Broly. However, Broly doesn't give up and goes for another attack, this time descending towards the opponent, preparing for a physical blow that noticeably doesn't intimidate Vegeta, given the smile with which he waits for the enemy to approach. Broly builds up his strength to strike, but before he can land the blow, Vegeta dodges, letting the ground receive the punch instead and suffering the damage from the larger Saiyan's powerful fist. Soon after moving away, Vegeta returns to his opponent with a jump, throwing a knee towards Broly's face, but which only served as a feint for a punch that hits the legendary warrior squarely in the face. Landing from his jump, Vegeta instructs Broly not to attack like a mad beast. He again jumps to attack, telling Broly to think before attacking. It's when another punch is almost reaching Broly's face that Vegeta realizes that his opponent is smarter than he thought. A smile from Broly indicates that he was already expecting this, and taking advantage of this opportunity, he opens his mouth to fire a wave of energy at close range at Vegeta, who is swallowed and carried away by this torrential attack. Vegeta did not receive this attack unscathed, showing some injuries on his body, although nothing serious. Now he understood Broly's strategy, pointing out that Broly pretended to fight in a stupid way so that he would lower his guard and open a gap. After realizing this, Vegeta admits that he has improved both in his way of fighting and in his way of thinking. This proves that the Broly of now is definitely not the same one who fought against him on Earth. Vegeta and Broly's training has finally begun. Who are you rooting for and who do you think will win? If you think Vegeta will win, comment now, #Vegeta. And if you think Broly will win, comment #Broly. And also state your arguments, explaining why you think that character will win, taking into account the story of Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Hakai, remembering that if you want to collaborate quickly and directly in the production of Dragon Ball Hakai chapters, you can do so now for a very low price through Super Thanks. It's quick, simple, cheap, and it helps us a lot. Anyway, let's continue. Meanwhile, on the planet of destruction from Universe 12, Goku makes a very unusual request to the God of Destruction Jin. Accompanied by Vados, Goku talks to the God of Universe 12, who is accompanied by his tutor, Martinu. Gin has just heard what Goku had to say, and is a little intrigued by the favor that was asked of him. Do you want my help traveling through time? Jin asks this as an intrigued smile forms on his face. As if begging, Goku puts his hands together. He asks Gin to please help him, as this is the only universe he knows of that has a time machine. It will take time to get it any other way, and he doesn't have time. Gin asks how Goku knows that there is a time machine in this universe. Goku says that he knows this thanks to an enemy he faced. He says he knows that the time machine is with the Supreme Kai of this universe. When he went to see the Supreme Kai and asked for the machine, he was told that it could only be given with Gin's permission. And guys, just an observation. This line from Goku about discovering that there is a time machine in Universe 12 thanks to Zamasu refers to chapter 26 of Dragon Ball Super, where it is actually mentioned that there is a time machine in this universe that was used by Zamasu himself. Anyway, moving on. Gin asks Goku why he wants to go back in time. Goku responds that the reason is his energy of destruction. Gin gets curious about this, and Goku starts to explain what happened a little better. Now going back to that moment where Goku was talking to Kakarot in his subconscious, he has just received the news that he would have to go back in time, and is obviously very surprised by this. Exactly. More specifically to a time before your home planet was destroyed, Kakarot confirms and specifies. Goku asks how this will help him master the powers of the energy of destruction, that is, Kakarot's powers. Kakarot then begins to explain in the most detailed way possible. You see, your body is already strong enough to withstand all the power I can offer you, but if your mind is not prepared enough, you will never be able to do it. You have always trained your body and mind, so your mind is almost as strong as your body. However, your mind is incomplete because there is a missing part of you, As long as this part is missing, you will not be able to comprehend the essence of the power of destruction. Goku doesn't quite understand the talk about there being a missing part of him, demanding a better explanation of his energy of destruction. Kakarot elaborates on this. When you were a child, you hit your head hard and lost a part of your memory, that is, a part of you. All your Saiyan memories are gone, memories that are linked to your origin and that are very important in the formation of your inner self. Mentally, you were never complete, Goku, and that is the main reason you were not prepared for the power of destruction. Recovering these memories will bring back a very important part of your consciousness and make you complete. That way, you will be ready to understand and master my power. Back in the present time, Gin finished listening to everything Goku told him. He admits that this all makes a lot of sense, but remembers that time travel is against the laws of the gods, as Goku knows. So he questions why Goku expects him to receive punishment for a training that isn't his and that may not even work. It seems that Goku was already expecting this type of question, and he already has an idea to solve this problem. Goku then takes a combat stance and challenges Universe 12's God of Destruction to a fight. This challenge leaves both the God and the Angel of Universe 12 very surprised. In parallel to this, inside Whis staff, an intense confrontation takes place in the skies, observed by the Angel and the God of Universe 7. It seems that Vegeta is getting the worst of it for now, being forced to retreat in the face of Broly's attacks. Whis notes that even using a large amount of power, Broly is still managing to maintain his precision and reason. There's nothing else Vegeta can do against him in Super Saiyan Blue. Vegeta receives a hard punch from Broly, which throws him hard against the ground. Despite the force with which he was thrown, Vegeta manages to land without crashing, even though it's not exactly a smooth landing. Then, he now needs to stand up to prepare himself to receive a hard attack from Broly, who comes from above, eager to strike his opponent, and lands a direct punch on Vegeta, who gives his own forehead to be hit instead of the face, being pushed by Broly's great strength as he struggles to resist the blow while remaining standing, creating a line of destruction on the floor of the dimension. But Vegeta incredibly manages to stop Broly's overwhelming blow. Despite the blood spilled from his forehead, the Prince of Saiyans smiles, surprising the other Saiyan. Vegeta praises Broly and says that this was a good warm-up. Evoking his power with even more intensity, he releases an aura of powerful energy that pushes Broly. This aura of energy soon manifested itself in the form of the power of destruction, emanating with great density. Now revealing his ultra ego, Vegeta tells Broly that it's time for the real fight. Seeing that transformation and truly dark power, Broly doesn't hide his fear, revealing it in an expression of terror. The one who makes a similar expression is Goku, who has just seen the God of Destruction from Universe 12 also releasing his power of destruction with great intensity. Jin is furious for being challenged. He asks how Goku dares to defy him and promises that he will tear the Saiyan God to pieces. Vegeta and Broly's training finally began, and after a brief warm-up, Vegeta finally began to fight seriously, frightening Broly by showing off Ultra Ego, his most powerful transformation. After being directly challenged by Goku, Gin, the God of Destruction of Universe 12, also shows his power, scaring the novice god. Will Broly be able to deal with Vegeta's Ultra Ego? Will Goku be able to face a veteran God of Destruction? Find out in the next chapters of Dragon Ball Hakai. Comment now if you think Goku will be able to defeat Gin, a veteran God of Destruction. If you trust that Goku will be able to win, comment #Team Goku. And if you think Gin will win, comment #Team Gin. And in your comments, leave your arguments. I would also like to know which of these two fights you are most looking forward to seeing. Do you think it's more interesting to see Broly's fight against Vegeta or Goku's fight against Gin? If you want to see more of the fight between the two Saiyans, comment now #Broly versus Vegeta. And if you are more curious to see the battle between the two gods of destruction, comment hashtag Goku God of Destruction vs Gin. It is very clear that in the next chapters, we will see the intensification of this confrontation between Broly and Vegeta and Goku and Gin. I'm sure these confrontations will result in important things for these characters' journeys. In Goku's case, it's very clear that his main objective is to go back in time, as Kakarot suggested, but it is possible that he will also have some important learning in this fight against Gin, who, in addition to being a veteran god, is also the hard-working type, since as Martinu mentioned in the last chapter, he is training to expand his powers. Regarding Vegeta and Broly, we know that their main driving force is involvement in battle thanks to the characteristics of Ultra Ego and the legendary Super Saiyan, which means that this fight between the two has everything to be absolutely insane, since the more intense the fight is, the more they evolve and the more intense the fight becomes. But there was a moment in the chapter where Beerus mentioned a certain plan Vegeta had, and apparently he didn't like that plan very much. What plan is this? Comment what you think Vegeta is intending to do. Well, comment what you thought of this chapter and if you're excited for the next one. And also give your opinion on what you think of the Dragon Ball Hakai story in general. Comment which plots you find most interesting, which characters you want to see more of, and things like that. Your opinions are very important to us, and your praise and criticism help us know which path to follow. In addition to commenting, leave a like on the video, remembering that if this video has at least 1,500 likes and 200 comments, we will bring the next chapter even faster. Subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss the next Dragon Ball Hakai videos and other content on our channel. And collaborate through our Patreon or Super Thanks to help more directly with the production of the chapters. Any amount helps us keep Dragon Ball Hakai alive. I'm very grateful to all of you who helped us by commenting, leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, or donating through Super Thanks or Patreon. You are the true heroes of this channel. And don't forget that all Dragon Ball Hakai chapters are available on our website, dbhakai.com. At the time of posting this video, this chapter 34 is not yet available on the website, but we will soon make it available there, so be sure to check it out. A big hug to all of you and see you in the next video.